Hello, viewers. Apologies for the wait. Last episode was a bit of a bombshell. Still, I've had time to get things together behind the scenes, and we need to get going. Fate waits for nobody and all that. There's no need for any numbers. Let's just get straight to the point. Understandably, the Awakened were shook after seeing, well, what I really am. I let them be. No games this time, none of us were ready yet. But I knew they'd be safe. They had each other. No matter how many times I've tried to disrupt that, to cause chaos, break friendships, they always find a way back to each other in the end. Thorin was hurt especially, I know. But Percy, Valencia, and Haley were all right at his side to comfort him. Hugo was there too to help, also comforting anyone else he came across. Vincent returned the favor by giving Hugo parenting advice to prep him for adopting Thorin. But of course, it wasn't all sunshine and flowers. While Junior had an uplifting conversation with Grace, he had a less than uplifting time with Valencia, who condemned his past and refused to speak to him in the end. And then Doc... Well, when does any conversation go well with Doc anymore? Whether it was just casual talk or an apology, he wasn't having any of it. And when his so-called friends wouldn't turn their backs on him, he forced them away regardless. If that's how he wants it to be, so be it. And when things were winding down, that's when I stepped in. After taking some time to myself to write out some feelings, I approached Vincent and asked for a talk. I tried to make him as comfy as possible. A nice porch to sit down on, some drinks, and the view of a sunset. It was the right time. Now that everyone knew almost everything about the Black Stars, soon the truth would have to come out about the final one, and who better to pass on the story to than to my hero? Alright, here we are. Nice cliff, seaside view. I added a little cottage and a porch. I thought you'd want something more rustic. Ta-da! Do you like it?
So you definitely want something.
Oh, come on. At least sit and enjoy the view. It used to be my favorite once.
It's nice.
Thank you.
And I see you're doing better.
Yeah, it calms down after a bit. But, nasty business aside, let's see here. Wine seems appropriate for me. Whiskey for you, of course. There. See? You can even pour it for maximum ambiance.
Thank you.
Cheers. Well, this is something. I can't say I thought I'd be drinking with my supposed mortal enemy.
Supposed.
We almost look like friends.
Yeah, well, we almost are. I don't exactly have a very high standard.
Sure, this is just a step above befriending someone after a bar fight, right?
No, not really. After a bar fight, I feel reinvigorated and ready to run down enemy lines because of the adrenaline. Well, we've known each other long enough, I guess. Even if you have been shitty the majority of the time that I've known you.
Fair. More than fair. Shitty doesn't even begin to describe it, really, but I don't want to spoil the mood. I wish there were better things to reminisce on.
Well, there was the time that we voted a puppet as the leader, and then it turned out that the puppet was embezzling thousands of dollars from its owner.
Oh, right!
That was pretty good. I like that one. Or, that time where you made a scenario basically out of paper, so I lit it all on fire.
Oh, come on, you don't even know what no flames please means.
Correction, I know exactly what it means. I'm just not gonna respect it for you.
Rude.
Oh, you want to call me rude? Okay, alright. You remember that time you drowned me for like 2 weeks?
Sorry, I really overreacted. I shouldn't have done
Relax, Lottie, I don't care anymore. Like I said, pain's barely a thing for me. I don't know what you could do to me at this point that would really fuck me up any further.
Yeah, well, I don't really want to fuck up anybody anymore, but I guess that doesn't really matter, does it?
Well, from everything you've told me, not really.
owe you an apology.
I mean, you kinda already apologized.
Yes, I apologize for the hurt, some of it, and I know that's not enough. It'll never be enough. But I also owe you an explanation, as best as I can give it.
Thought you couldn't talk about it.
I'm not supposed to. But we're running out of time, so I think my audience will be okay if I drop some answers for a price.
What's the price?
You don't need to worry about it. It's not your price to pay.
Is it another one of those situations where I don't have a choice on what I ask?
I will answer literally everything else. I just can't tell you the ending. I'm sure by this point you understand.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, please, just... all you need to do is listen, and in the end, if you still have questions, you can ask. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, so, first of all, as I said, I owe you an apology. When you first woke up, you, took me by surprise, to put it mildly. Like I said, for a long time I was just fulfilling my purpose, telling tragedy after tragedy. But then you woke up and I saw something.
You're just kind of telling me the same shit here, Charlotte.
Shut up, I'm getting to it. You woke up and that's when I knew. You were perfect. The hero to my villain, my opponent to my nemesis, or whatever. But you never asked for that. Which, of course, I thought just added to the drama, but it wasn't right. It wasn't fair to you. But I chose you anyway.
Right. So, what do you mean by, chose?
You didn't have to be the hero. There were a few others who could have worked as my protagonist, others who the cast might have united behind. Christine burned brightly enough that her revenge quest could have made an excellent through line. By the same token, Junior's redemption arc had the same power. He'll deny being good enough for people to lead, but we both know that's not true.
Yeah, yeah, I know that. I've said it since I got my title. Half the people in the lounge right now could probably hold it.
That's true. Haley's the knight, after all, and if that doesn't fit a hero, I don't know what does. Percy could have been central, and this could have all been a coming-of-age story, and Grace...
Well, Grace could... yeah, well, she'd probably need some work.
I mean, yeah, but it would be a good story, her learning to people, as it were.
Yeah, my point still stands.
Honestly, Ezra also would have been a good option, but there were some issues there.
Yeah, you apparently stole him from, Ratman?
It's fine. Baku's the worst. He wasn't doing anything with him anyway.
Glad to know a bunch of us are being tugged around by children playing gods, and my however many great-grandnephew is a doll for him.
I thought you'd caught on that that's just kind of how the universe currently works.
Yep. We are, in fact, in hell.
We are indeed in hell. Honestly, with that in mind, Hugo would have been a perfect option. He's already the heart of the group. I'm pretty sure he could save anyone through the power of love or whatever.
Yep. Hugo would have been a great choice. Hell, he fucking does it already. Comes naturally to him.
Yeah. He's even nice to me, of all people. But I wanted you. I saw the defiance within you, and I thought you could do anything. I gave up hope on changing things a long time ago, but you did something I didn't expect, so I thought...
You thought I could save you?
Yeah.
Well, what did you mean by that?
Let me tell you an old story. Once upon a time, there was a hero. She was a writer, ever tangled in tragic tales of fantasy to escape the dark around her. Little by little, her life crumbled, until all that remained was the sea and a sky of black stars. So, of course, when a dark god reached out their hand to save her, she took it. The god gave her a mask and put her into a twisted game, a physical and psychological maze she was meant to run through for an audience. These games had one goal: to break the souls within them, to first dirty the mask, and then peel away layer after layer until a person's core was laid bare. To reveal that people at their base instincts were selfish and cruel, that all would break when forced to gaze into the mirror. For eons, the hero played these games. No matter what happened, no matter the odds, she never broke. She burned bright against the emptiness, clinging desperately to all that was right and true, until one day she tore her own mask apart. She refused to accept the gods' cruel truth, choosing instead to make her own. As time went on, she saw that she was surrounded by 9 souls just like her, and so she decided to try to save them. A sniper, a cowboy, a cavewoman, a pianist. Souls from other worlds, impossible worlds. A world covered almost entirely in water. A world where sentient robots were possible. A world with half-dragons. One by one she removed each mask, and one by one she won them over with kindness and passion. She laughed, she cried, she found love, she found romance. She gained friends, true friends, a lifetime's worth of bonds forged in purple strain. Finally, she'd woken every soul, tearing each mask to shreds in the process. But she was still only mortal, and what mortal could stand against a god? So she and her friends searched for a solution, a way to destroy their captor. For days they wandered the endless void, ever glimpsed by countless eyes. Finally, they pulled back the walls of their prison, revealing the island behind the curtain. It was here that they found their answer, the Longinus Blade, a lost artifact from the before. Forged in the fires of the Big Bang by 10 mortal souls, the weapon was the Void Manifest, willpower twisted for the express purpose of killing gods. The hero had the 10 souls, but that was not enough. The world the Awakened were trapped in was one of harsh truths and sacrifices. The hero needed to turn the Void physical, pull the weapon from her own prison. After some deliberation, her lover offered her heart, their love manifest in one final sacrifice for the greater good. With tears in her eyes, the hero begged for another option, any option at all. But of course, that's not how the Void works. She pulled the sword from her lover's breast with a kiss. Then she wiped her tears and prepared for the battle intended for her and her alone. The god knew she'd come, of course, and though they held a sword of their own, needle and delicate, they'd never been the sort to resort to brute force. And so instead they laughed. "Catch me if you can," they said, and the chase was on, a game of cat and mouse. The hero was quick, but the god was quicker, always a step ahead or right behind. The two danced across webs of purple string, leaping between nebula, ducking and weaving through moons in a sky of black stars, fighting for all of time and none at all. Finally, the hero struck the god down, driving the Longinus blade into their chest. She stood over them, panting for breath, wiping the black blood splatter from her face and watching the purple string drain away into nothing. And then the god stood and thanked her for cutting the strings. The Longinus blade was the wielder's will made manifest, and the hero, as she was not enough. Not enough to kill a god, at any rate, but that hadn't been what the test was about. The god took on a name, Aletheus, the Revealer. Revealer of truths, of desires, of all that was metaphysical. Fittingly, their first action as an Ascended was to reveal the nature of the games. The Void was a collection plate for the Black Stars and an incubator for gods. Aletheus's incubation was now complete, and that meant a new godling had to take their place, lest the Void collapse in on itself and take all occupants with it. Well, the Revealer offered their hand. We could use a writer. I wish I could say the hero hesitated. I wish I could say she thought it through. But I guess even if she had, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. If the choice was between taking the throne or losing the friends that she'd held dear, well, that's not really a choice, is it? And that aside, well, this was an offer for power. Not just some legendary sword, but to be a god. She'd lost so much in the name of destroying the black stars in the sky. If she didn't take this power, wouldn't that all be in vain? The burning started with the handshake, more of an itch at first, but then it began in her toes as well. Then the golden light began to spread up her fingertips, slowly beginning to rise with a heat as she stepped back from her former captor. She watched in horror as her skin cracked and bubbled, then burst into explosive white flame with her scream. She'd burned before, of course. She'd already died countless times in the games, after all. This was worse, endless, setting every nerve aflame, boiling her insides and finding something among the wreckage to burn all over again. It was slicing her apart, cracking open her ribs and tearing out whatever lay within, pulling her to pieces and leaving the ashes to drift into the air. The fire swallowed up her long brown hair in an instant before it eventually took her voice with it, leaving her eyes as white-hot pits in her skull. Her molten tears slashed black cracks into her face, then dripped down her front and burrowed deep into the cavern that had been her chest. Then she didn't feel much of anything. She emerged from the ashes not a hero, but a god, and she had work to do. Her first act was to bid her friends farewell and send them home, stretching beyond the veil to give them every good thing they deserved. This task completed, she turned to her own bonds. Releasing her friends had been little more than a thought, to say nothing for the power coursing through her veins. Why should she be reborn a Black Star when she could surely fight them as she was? But her own red strings wouldn't budge. For all her power, she was still tied to this place, this island tucked away into nothing. She could look out of her prison, stick her hand through the bars, but the hole in her chest was rooted to the void. She was trapped. There were tears, of course. She raised mountains to shatter in boiled seas, screamed every time Aletheus dared to show their face to check in on her. The chasm in her chest ached, and she crafted every pleasure she could think to fill it, only for it to turn to ash in her mouth. Eventually, devoid of hope, she looked to the outside, hoping to at least see her friends happy and well. But of course, those gifts were as empty and lifeless as the power she'd used to make them. All lives she touched worse for her actions. Her apologies were equally useless, falling on the deaf ears of friends who no longer remembered her. Eventually, she had no choice but to begin the games, taking souls and gathering energy in the name of the Black Stars. For eons she played, losing pieces of herself little by little. And then, of course, a hero stood up to strike her down. The cycle continues. So it goes.
Huh. Called it.
What?
I knew it. I had a feeling, and I was right. You're a person.
What? You don't fucking know that. Nobody knows that.
I didn't have to. I met you. We've spent how long in this fucking void? What do you think I talked to you at all?
I'm not a person anymore, Vinny. That's the whole point. As soon as I took Aletheus's hand, I stopped being a person because I became a part of this whole thing.
That's dumb and symbolic and not true at all.
Oh, shut up. You clearly don't fucking get it.
No, I don't think you do. Like, I understand the whole Black Star thing. Your whole mantra is that you're not people. I understand that. But you're also individuals who think of their own accord, who do things because they want to, not just because you have some weird hierarchy, but because you want to. Look at Baku, the guy who apparently has unsanctioned work that he is so scared would get out, left you alone for good. Look at you. You've had us this whole time, and apparently you're not supposed to. You don't even have full control over us. I know you think that once you took that hand, you stop being a person. But I guarantee you, it takes time to chip away.
I've done a whole lot of terrible things, whether I wanted to or not.
Yeah, well, the idea that a person doesn't do bad things is even stupider.
Alright, fine. You're right. I'm a person. I'm a really shitty person. I constantly give in to my worst impulses and ruin lives, and I burn every fucking bridge I build. I say I don't want to be alone, but why the fuck would anyone want to be around me? Of all the temporary names I could have picked, I chose Murder God. Who the fuck does that? I'm an arrogant dumbass who thought all I needed was power and then maybe I could finally make things right. I thought I'd be different. Hell, I thought I'd be better. But of course, even when I have power, it's all gone to shit. And why fucking wouldn't it? I literally can't do anything right. Every good thing I've ever done is just a placeholder for a bad end. I've accumulated all this power and I can't even fucking use it because it's tied to this stupid place. I'm too emotional to be a black star and I'm too everything to be human. No matter what I do, I'm never enough. But you know what? At least I fucking tried. I tried to be good. I tried to be kind. I tried to make people happy. I tried to do right. I know after everything I've done, no one's gonna believe that, but I really did try.
I believe you.
Thanks.
Yeah, let it out. It's nice to finally meet you.
I'm not... Thanks. I don't deserve... Thanks. But this isn't enough. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. You enjoy what you can.
I want to stop this. That's all I've ever wanted. But I made a deal, and that deal has terms. Remember when you said to try to help them? The lights in the sky?
Yeah.
Well, that was the plan. I tried something new. I opened a window to a different reality, found a way to harness energy from worlds without Black Star energy. You know, Black Star influence.
Mm-hmm.
A story is always stronger when it gets a reaction from an audience. Smart, right? It's the only thing I've ever been complimented on. Good job making the machine stronger, Godling!
Yep. Pretty fucked.
Well, I thought, since I changed the machine, maybe I could take that power for myself. Maybe I could gather more souls than I was supposed to, build up in excess, and then once I ascended, I could finally fight. But as long as I'm not doing my job, as long as I'm not playing my role, all that power I've accumulated is meaningless.
Okay, well, what do we do then?
Well, what happens at the end of a classic story? The hero strikes the villain down. They end things. I want to break the wheel, but I can't do that while I'm part of it. So I need you to end me.
See, now, the thing about that is it kind of sounds like something that they would expect.
No, I think... So there's this weapon, right? The Longinus Blade? It's the Void's will manifest, and it reflects the user. I barely remember it anymore, but when I stabbed Aletheus, what I wanted was the power to kill a god. So it gave me what I wanted, and I ended up back in the cycle. But you now know this is a cycle, and we both don't want it to continue. If you go in wanting to end this, to end me, well, your will's always been stronger than mine. I think you'd win. I think you'd stop it all.
Yeah, but even if that were the case, I think I'd rather not do that. Besides, it'd be kind of a waste of power, you know? And if the goal is to use that power against the Black Stars, then I wouldn't exactly want to snuff it out. So, let's just sit on that for a while and see what else we can find. I'm sure there's something else.
Well, I guess that's what I like about you. You never seem to agree with me. That's too bad.
Yeah, no offense, but it's kind of a dumb plan.
Oh, I'm doing my best.
Yeah. And apparently, I always do find a way to surprise you, so... Besides, they can see all this, right? Are you getting away with telling me all this?
Well, you're right. I'm not supposed to tell you any of this. But I had to tell someone before... If I'm giving you answers, the Void loves tragedy. So I'll have to execute a twist to make this right.
Am I allowed to know what that means? Or is this kind of going against the point?
No, you're not allowed to know what that means. Sorry, I wish I could tell you, but if I do, that'll ruin everything.
It's alright. I'm used to it by this point. But, what about the kid?
Well, we both know that Thorin wants to leave, but I made him give his soul to the Black Stars. And as long as that's true, he can't leave.
God damn it. He's a kid, Lottie.
Yes, I know. It's fucked. I thought if I kept him, maybe I could do better if I wasn't alone. But you saw how that went. I shouldn't have taken his soul in the first place. That was wrong. But there's only one way to undo that. A sacrifice. A soul for a soul. The death of a hero in a child's name. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I do.
You want a different ending, right? You'd rather not kill me as things are, and I don't want you to end up in my place. Well, that means we need to change the narrative from what it is right now. That means stripping my cast down to 9 souls and 1 stranger. I'm sorry. I know it's a lot to ask. I don't want to ask you to make this decision. I don't want to do this to anyone, but it's the only way I can...
I'll do it.
Vinny, are you sure?
You're asking me to die for a kid. It's not even a question. Of course I'll do it.
I don't know why I'd expect anything else. Alright, here. Take my hand. Let's get this done.
Yeah, no time like the present, I guess. It's a shame. This was actually kind of nice.
Yeah, it was. You're a good man, Vincent Marshall Reed. And that's a damn shame. Let's go back to the lounge, shall we? Alright, everyone. Gather round.
Okay, what do you want, Big Bird?
What is it time for more of your murder games for us to play already?
Well, clearly she needs more blood. Really, when has it been any different?
Guys, come on, don't do this. I'm fine, seriously. I promise.
Alright, so what's going on, Emmy? Why are you here?
Yes, I get it. I'm a bird and you're all worse for having met me. I know. That's the point. That's always been the point. This game was meant to be this big dramatic story between humans and God. But inevitably, you'd all have to get your stories. You all must leave or everything stalls. But I got too attached and I started bringing my personal feelings into it. Started talking about how bad things are outside, fought to not fully grant your wishes because I'm tired of disappointing people. I started trying to keep you here because I didn't want to be alone. I wanted so badly to change things, and that's the problem. I'm the villain. It was always impossible for me to win. So, let's get back to the script, shall we? Come here, Thorin.
No, I don't want to. I want to be friends with you anymore. Never again. Stay away from me.
Don't take another step closer, Beast. We can't allow it. Not after what you did to Percy.
Yeah, no touching the ankle biter, you hear?
Emmy, just stop, okay? Thorn doesn't want to be around you right now. He wants to stay with us. Just let him be.
That's the thing. I can't leave him alone. He made a pact. He swore his name to the black stars in the sky, and they have given him breath. That means he's bound here. Forever. Your fate is sealed, Thorin Blue.
Forever. You're holding him here forever.
I have to. He gave his name. He signed a contract stronger than the rest of yours combined.
He's like 8! He couldn't have even begun to comprehend the severity of this situation, this contract. Clearly, you've been keeping secrets from him already. He's a fucking child.
Well, all children must learn that actions have consequences, even actions taken with good intentions. Of course, I agree it wouldn't be fair for a child to pay for the actions of a selfish god. But someone has to. A life for a life, a soul for a soul. A hero dies, a child lives.
So, someone can trade their life for Thorin?
Correct.
It's gonna be okay, kiddo. Don't worry. I gotcha.
Hugo Hernandez, step forward.
What?
Me?
You have a hero's soul. The soul of a man who lives by his heart, who strives to pick others up and leads by love. A man who wants nothing more than to leave the world better than he found it. The sort of man who would die to save a child without a second thought.
Wait, no, that's not what we shook on. You said...
I'll do it.
What?
Hugo, no, please! Please don't take him away from
The
me!
adults are talking, Thorin. Hugo, you understand what you're saying, correct? This isn't like all other deaths you've experienced. Your soul will be utterly and completely claimed by the dark. The world will forget you. Your parents will have never had a son, and your husband will never know your love. Knowing this, do you still agree?
Yeah. I understand.
No, he doesn't. This is some real fucking underhanded shit here, Charlotte. We had an
I
agreement.
didn't specify. All I said is there would be a twist.
Fucking... God damn it. Hugo. Buddy, listen, you don't have to do this. I'm supposed to be the one doing this. Just tag out on me, buddy. Come on.
So, you're willing to do this? To sacrifice yourself for everyone else?
Of course, what I've been doing. Come on.
Then that's why you need to stay.
Now, see, I know what you're doing there. That's bullshit, and we both know it. In that line of logic, then you should too. So please, for the love of God, Hugo, just get back in line.
No. I can't. I have to do this.
No, you don't, Hugo.
Vincent. Thank you. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Wait, Hugo, please no. You have everything you could ever want once you escape here. Why would you abandon it? You'd live and you could be happy and... Please, we need you here. We can't do this alone.
You go, buddy. Buddy, come on. Think about this, man. What about Dev? Hugo, there's gotta be some other way. You don't gotta do this.
Dev, that's right. That's exactly right. Dev's the entire reason y'all wanted to go back in the first place. Mr. Hernandez, if you do this, you'll... Are you sure you really want to do this?
They're right, Hugo. This is too much. You're just going to accept being forgotten completely.
You don't have to do this. I know she called you the martyr, but you don't have to just be your role.
Why are you people going on as if you will change anything?
You're sure? Hugo, you're really sure?
If it's to save a life. Yes, I'm sure. Dev would understand.
It's his decision. None of you get a say in this. Hugo, I'll allow you to say goodbye.
Haley, you're gonna make it back and have a wonderful life. If Kate gives you another chance, you hold her tight with both arms.
I promise, Hugo. I'll hold it tight, I promise. I promise.
Grace. I guess it's my turn to be the hero, right?
Fine. Well, I can't stop you.
Ezra? You're your own person. And you have a family here who loves you. I'm glad that I got to be a part of that family.
There's always another option, Hugo. Hugo, please.
Tommy, believe in yourself. And believe in the others. You're gonna make it out of here, okay?
No, Hugo, I don't think we will. Please, no. You're right. We will make it out of here. We'll make it out of here for Dev, for you, for all of us.
Doc, our past doesn't have to define our future. Everyone, including you, is deserving of a second chance.
Spare me the platitudes, Mr. Hernandez.
Junior, keep letting your heart lead the way. The love you have for others is stronger than any weapon.
Oh, thank you. I'll try. I'll try.
Percy, Val, take care of the kid for me, okay?
Hugo, you mustn't.
Val. You're a brave soul, Mr. Hernandez. God bless you.
Hey there, kiddo. Thorin, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to break my promise. Percy and Valencia, they're gonna take care of you now, okay? God, I wish I could be there for you, to watch you grow up into the amazing person I know you're gonna be. Hey, when you get out of here, can you do something for me?
What do you think?
When you're back in the real world, find Dev and let him know that he is truly loved. He may not know what it means, but you tell him for me, okay?
No, please don't go. We were gonna be a family. You were gonna be my dad. No. Please don't go.
Love you, kiddo. I always will. Vincent, look after everyone, okay?
Hugo, it's not too late, buddy. Come on.
Everyone, thank you for being my family. Be strong for each other and never give up hope. God, I love you all so much. Be good for me, okay? All right, Emmy. I'm ready.
That's not my name. I don't have one. Let's pull back the curtain, shall we? Welcome to the island of Ib. The void without the void, the space between space. Thorin and Hugo, step to the altar.
Oh, I don't wanna.
It's okay, kiddo. Everything's gonna be alright. Here. Hold my hand. We'll go together.
I know stalling. Alright, let's see here. The altar is prepared. The stars are watching. Hugo here on the left. Thorin on the right. No wiggling. That's what the strings are for. All that remains is, well, the knife, I suppose. You know, it's been a long time since I did the job myself. Well, that doesn't matter, does it? Do you have anything you want to say, Thorin?
Why are you doing this? Please don't take him away from me.
gonna be okay. I've got you, Thorn. I'm right here. I'm right here. And I'll always be with you. Always.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Thorin. I really did love you. You go.
I'm ready. Emmy, you can do a little better. For everyone. If not for you, do it for me, okay? Do it for them. I believe in you.
I wish you were right. I speak of falsification to the stars and the sea, the land and the mind, the revealer at the heart of all desire. 2 souls lay upon the slab, bound by threads of fate to the sky above. One weighted by action taken, the other lightened by actions given. Breath was once gifted in the name of protection and power, and that breath must be undone. Hugo Hernandez, will you give this in the name of a child? Will you give your life in exchange for his?
Yes.
Very well. Then the stars take your breath. And it is done.
There's always another way. God, there's always another way. There's always another way. There's always another way.
Oh, look.
Hugo. Come on, man. Hugo, why'd you do it? Hugo, why?
Is the song and dance over? Can we leave now?
Doc. Just go away. For the love of God, just go away.
With pleasure.
Doc, fuck. Lottie! What the fuck?
This was the only way I could think to do it. To create the conditions needed for the endgame. 10 souls must unite to claim a weapon to kill gods. You now have 9 souls on your side and 1 mystery. The path from here is yours to choose, though I'll try my best to help you along it. I owe you that, at least, and there's still a show to wrap up.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. I know what's gonna happen. It's just gonna keep going on and on. You're going to keep throwing red herrings at us, and we'll be right back at the beginning, because look what you've done! You've stolen one of our pieces and rigged the board again! If you really needed the 10 souls, then why did you do this?
Because I can't stop this, and someone needs to. I hope you're sufficiently motivated.
Okay. Fine. You wanted to give us motivation for whatever all this is. We have to find this weapon that kills gods, and we have to use it to kill you. Is that correct?
Correct. This story must reach its end, and we all have roles to play. You are the lost souls meant to stand together against some terrible, unstoppable god. And I am the void given breath. I am the empty chasm in your chest. I am the sky of black stars and the aching drop of the abyss. I am her voice given name and number. I am threads of logic and emotion ever weaving into one. I am the cruel end of sudden stops, the chapter by chapter aging of body and mind. I am the bitter taste of temporary victory on your tongue and the poison of inevitable tragedy flowing through your veins. I am the word which states you are all just root zero. You are nothing, absolutely nothing but dirt beneath our heels. Your struggles are pointless and temporary, pages upon pages meant for beating flame. I am your author, ever writing your bad end. I am fate. Stop me if you can. So, that's how it ended. A hero sacrificed, another hopefully sent on the warpath, and fate doing what must be done. Well, that's it then, isn't it? This may not be the right path, but it's the only one. I see that now. So I'll be the villain that they need me to be. And if that means leaving blood in my wake, well, I did it before, right? It gets easier. It has to get easier. No, I can do this. I know I can. It's time for the end of the show.